Unforgettable grace at Dior SS26. Why did Jimin leave the world breathless? In the ever-evolving world of high fashion, only a handful of moments manage to transcend the boundaries of the runway and become etched in cultural memory. Dior's Spring-Summer 2026 show promised innovation, artistry, and spectacle, but amidst the grandeur of the collection, the most unforgettable highlight was not fabric, stitching, or silhouette. It was a presence so compelling, so quietly commanding, that the entire venue seemed to hold its breath. That presence belonged to Park Jimin. Once again, Jimin demonstrated that his influence goes far beyond music charts and concert arenas. On this stage, he was not merely a celebrity guest. He was a phenomenon, an embodiment of elegance and grace, leaving the world asking one central question: why did this moment feel so utterly unforgettable? Jimin's relationship with Dior has always been more than an ambassadorial contract. From the moment he was announced as a global representative, he redefined what it means for a modern pop icon to collaborate with a century-old fashion house. Yet the SS26 showcase elevated that partnership into something historic. The instant Jimin entered the venue, the atmosphere shifted palpably. Conversations softened, eyes turned, and even among a constellation of international stars and fashion elites, he stood as a singular figure. This was not mere celebrity allure. It was an unspoken command of attention, a magnetism that radiated without effort. His attire, meticulously chosen yet deceptively simple, reflected the very essence of Dior's vision for SS26. Refinement through restraint, sophistication through clarity. A tailored silhouette draped in muted tones, complemented by subtle yet striking accessories, allowed Jimin to embody both duality and harmony. He was delicate yet powerful, approachable yet untouchable, contemporary yet timeless. This paradox is precisely what captivated audiences, an image not manufactured by excess, but defined by quiet perfection. The world's media was quick to capture every angle. Photographers who had anticipated his arrival for hours snapped relentlessly as he paused with the grace of someone fully aware of his power, but uninterested in exploiting it. Unlike others who demand the spotlight, Jimin seems to allow the spotlight to find him, naturally and inevitably. His movements, measured and graceful, conveyed more than confidence. They revealed a serenity that drew others in, reminding observers that true elegance is not loud, but calm, composed, and enduring. Perhaps what left the audience breathless was not just his appearance, but the aura of authenticity that accompanied it. In a fashion industry often criticized for artifice and performance, Jimin's presence felt genuine. His soft yet steady smile, the slight tilt of his head, the way he exchanged glances with those around him, all of it constructed an atmosphere that was at once intimate and majestic. It was as if the runway show became secondary, with Jimin himself embodying the very ideals Dior sought to project this season. Global reaction has been swift and unanimous. Social media platforms exploded with clips of his arrival, each video amassing millions of views within hours. Fans spoke of their hearts skipping a beat, of being unable to look away, of feeling as though they had witnessed not just a fashion show but a cultural moment. Journalists compared his elegance to that of past legends, while others argued that he had already surpassed them, representing a new standard for celebrity presence in high fashion. For many, the question remained: how does Jimin continue to transcend boundaries in spaces where others are simply participants? The answer may lie in the fusion of his artistry and humanity. As a performer, Jimin is renowned for precision, intensity, and emotional resonance. As a person, he radiates humility and sincerity, qualities rarely preserved in figures of his magnitude. Dior's SS26 event allowed these qualities to coexist visibly: the superstar and the human, the icon and the individual. That duality is what fashion seeks to express but often fails to achieve. In Jimin, Dior found not just a representative, but a living manifestation of its vision. As the show ended and the lights dimmed, the murmurs did not fade. Instead, the air buzzed with one lingering emotion: awe. Attendees, still processing what they had witnessed, exchanged words that felt inadequate to capture the essence of his presence. Was it the flawless styling, the ethereal grace, or the intangible aura that left them breathless? Most concluded it was all of these, woven together seamlessly into a single unforgettable moment. What remains clear is that Jimin's appearance at Dior SS26 will not be remembered as a fleeting highlight, but as a benchmark in fashion history. His grace was not simply observed, it was experienced, felt, and internalized by those present, and by millions more who followed through screens across the globe. And so the question lingers, why did Jimin leave the world breathless? The truest answer may be that such grace defies explanation. It is not something to be analyzed fully, but something to be felt deeply. For those who witnessed it, whether in person or virtually, the memory of Jimin at Dior SS26 will remain an enduring reminder that elegance, when authentic and unforced, has the power to silence a room, move the heart, and reshape the very idea of beauty itself. The resonance of Jimin's appearance at Dior SS26 cannot be confined to the glittering walls of the venue alone. It radiated outward, crossing borders, languages, and cultures, echoing across digital platforms and news outlets worldwide. The immediacy of the reaction highlighted something deeper than simple fascination with a celebrity at a fashion show. What unfolded was the transformation of a routine industry event into a cultural milestone. An event that will be revisited not merely for its garments, but for the atmosphere created by a single presence. Critics within the fashion world were quick to weigh in. Renowned editors described the moment as an embodiment of Dior's spirit made human. Others argued that Jimin elevated the show beyond its clothes, introducing an emotional narrative that words alone could not capture. In an industry where criticism is often sharp and merciless, the near-unanimous praise was striking. This was not the language of detached analysis. It was the language of reverence. When professionals who have witnessed decades of couture history speak in terms of awe, it signals the emergence of something rare, perhaps once in a generation. Outside the closed circle of the fashion elite, fans and casual observers alike contributed to the swelling chorus of admiration. Social media timelines were flooded with images, GIFs, and videos that attempted to immortalize what could never be fully contained by a screen. Hashtags trended globally within minutes, and within hours, Jimin's Dior moment became a worldwide phenomenon. Yet, what stood out was the tone of the response. It was not merely excitement, but a kind of reverent astonishment, as though audiences recognized that they had been granted a glimpse of something timeless. This raises the central paradox. Why Jimin and why now? There are countless celebrities who sit front row at fashion shows, each dressed in impeccable attire, each commanding photographers' flashes. Yet very few inspire the kind of collective silence, the breathless pause, that followed Jimin's arrival. The answer, perhaps, lies in the intersection of artistry and authenticity. Jimin does not seem to treat fashion as an accessory to his fame. Instead, he inhabits it as an extension of his artistry. Every gesture, every glance, carries the same intentionality that defines his performances on stage. This consistency of self, across music, dance, and now fashion, creates a seamless narrative that resonates as truth. Moreover, there is an undeniable cultural significance in Jimin's role. For decades, the luxury fashion industry has been criticized for its lack of diversity, for its narrow vision of beauty and elegance. The presence of a South Korean artist not only disrupts this narrative but reshapes it. Jimin stands as a representative of a globalized era, one in which beauty, grace, and sophistication are no longer confined to Western archetypes. His embodiment of Dior's ideals expands the vocabulary of fashion, making it not just more inclusive but also more reflective of a shifting global consciousness. The symbolism becomes even more profound when one considers the socio-cultural moment. K-pop, once dismissed as a niche phenomenon, has now firmly embedded itself in the global mainstream. Jimin, as one of its brightest figures, carries the weight of that transition. His collaboration with Dior does not merely elevate his personal brand. It signifies the merging of two worlds, K-pop's dynamism and Dior's tradition. That convergence was made visible at SS26, where centuries-old Parisian craftsmanship met the magnetic aura of a 21st century Korean icon. The result was not a clash but a harmony that felt inevitable, as though Dior and Jimin had always been destined to meet at this crossroads. Observers could not ignore the subtler dimensions of his impact either. In the way Jimin interacted with fellow attendees, graceful nods, brief but warm exchanges, he exuded diplomacy as much as charm. His presence suggested not only artistry but also cultural ambassadorship, bridging continents and communities in ways that no press release or marketing campaign could achieve. The silent diplomacy of grace, embodied in his posture and expression, accomplished what words often cannot. unity, recognition, and mutual respect. As the evening unfolded, conversations among critics, fans, and industry insiders circled back to one point of consensus. This was not just about clothes. Dior SS26 will be remembered less for its individual garments than for the sensation of witnessing Jimin within its framework. It is rare in fashion for a personality to overshadow a collection.